CPI came in a little bit hotter than expected, and the market really corrected downwards as a result.
But I think people are expecting maybe another 75 basis points in November now, instead of, kind of tapering, maybe hold, or maybe it's 50 basis points or something like that. It does seem like we're trending in the right direction, but it may not be as quick as maybe we'd been hoping it could be. That's why I think it's kind of more important now than ever to really focus on fundamentals for companies. And we'll do that in a minute here with Tesla, but it's like nobody really can predict macro.
The good news is the NASDAQ is down 4%. And Tesla is only down 3.9%. I'm pretty happy with that. That's like a win to me. This is the latest FSD beta version, rolled out to, I think, all 100,000 beta testers. Like, you would think that in all so much simulated tests they do for this, within the simulation environment, for the full self-driving neural network, you would think that it would figure out to make a left turn that doesn't, maybe it's just figuring out left turns that don't cause an accident. And so even though that left turn 99.9999% of the time is not going to cause an accident, about 90% of the time, or 95% of the time, it's going to cause an uncomfortable situation where the car that's going down the road from the right has to I'm forcing them to slow down.
Things are generally smoother on most turns, but the mistakes that it is making are very uncomfortable mistakes. In 99% of left turns, just wait till both sides are clear and go. And it seems like it's not doing that in way too many of the turns.
So I'm still very impressed. And behind the scenes, they're probably making all kinds of code changes that are going to make it easier to go to single stack, so they can make faster improvements and iterations. So I think there's a lot to be hopeful for or positive about. We're just pointing out a couple of interesting flaws. There's safety and there's uncomfortability. And I feel like the discomfort, uncomfortability, they got to work on that a lot, but the safety seems to be almost entirely solved, in my opinion, from a statistical point of view. The big feature of today, I think, is we're going to go over an earnings preview for a Q3.
ASP. This is pretty important because there have been so many price increases, but the backlog has been so significant that it's taken a while, I think, for some of the ASPs to make their way through the system. The big thing to take away is, what are the jumps, quarter to quarter? The big kind of jump in Q2 was around $3,400 price increase on average. And then the question for Q3 is, what amount of price increase will make its way through in Q3? This is a gross margin kind of chart for those listening. So I'm showing 33% gross margin for Model 3 going to Europe, and 43 in Q1. And I have that dropping to 30 and 40 in Q2. To what extent will the inflation that we've seen drive up the cost of goods sold? And to what extent will the pretty big increases in output from that facility offset those increases? For those watching on YouTube, I have Q2 on here as well, and that was 218, but I didn't adjust that for the split. Yeah, so it's a huge increase quarter over quarter.
And now Wall Street is saying, okay, yeah, Shanghai's up and running the whole time, and everything's up and running, but we're only going to give you a little bit of credit. So now it's 310 or 330 or whatever a share. That's too modest. I mean, it just seems like the $5 is certainly in the realm of possibility, or almost probability in our mind.
My insights are kind of the same as that they've always been, which is I think the play here is, that the enforced premium per customer goes up, the customer count goes up, and then you've got this kind of runaway increase in the top line, and linear increase in OpEx to kind of keep up with that.
We're definitely going to see the Tesla bot. My over-under is really going to be like 90,000 for this month, which is still pretty great, I think.
I think my test will be when my wife doesn't complain that I have FSD on, then I think take rate's gonna really increase, because then you'll be moving from people who are just interested in the tech to people who are like, wow, this is an amazing kind of convenience,
very practical
and comfort feature. Yeah.